Did you hear that Caterpillar is making a pickup truck and it's gonna get 50 miles to the gallon and it's gonna have a top speed of 150 miles an hour? And
Caterpillar, the legendary name behind some of the world's toughest construction machines, has made an unexpected move that has everyone watching what they are up to. They've just unveiled their first ever pickup truck, and it's unlike anything the market has seen before. Let's get started.
except no, they're not, because obviously they're not. So I've seen a lot of videos come across my YouTube homepage that I can only describe as AI slop. These are videos, they have an AI voiceover narration, they put it over AI images. I'm pretty sure the scripts are written by AI as well. And these videos make all sorts of wild claims like John Deere is building a pickup truck, Caterpillar is building a pickup truck, Stellantis is going bankrupt. These videos are supposed to be like automotive news videos. All the news that they are reporting is completely made up. Hoaxes or fake news in the automotive world is nothing new. Companies would take out ad space in automotive magazines for April Fool's Day, and there's always those rumors circulating that Pontiac is coming back and that, you know, they're working on this, that, the other thing. And every once in a while, you would have someone very talented draw a car and say that, oh, this is a leaked early concept for an upcoming car from a manufacturer. But with AI, the speed with which you can do these things increases, which means the market is now flooded with these cheap AI fake news videos. But I was thinking about it, and you don't really see that a whole lot with other areas. So you do see that come up in cars, this fake news stuff, but you don't really see it a lot of the time in other areas like tech. It seems like it's unique to cars, especially the idea of leaked early concepts and just wild, claims. And the more I started to think about it, the more I realized that the whole idea of concept cars is pretty unique to the car world. Sure, companies will come out with different devices and gadgets and will have early models for testing and to show off at like trade shows and stuff. And these early models might have features that might not make it into the production version. But going all out and designing a new concept from the ground up and bringing it to a big auto show, bringing it to a big show and showing it off with some revolutionary piece of technology, and then never making a production car that follows from that, or making a production car that is so far separated from the concept that it basically, loses all meaning. That's something very unique to the car world. So I just wanted to provide a quick video to let people know that these AI videos are out there. It's all fake. I would just try to avoid them. Don't give them the attention. Don't give them the views. They're just out there trying to get you to click and trying to get you to watch as long as possible before you realize that the video is junk. This AI content is made by no talent hacks interested in a quick cash grab. But if everyone stops watching their stupid, no-effort content, maybe they'll have to go out and get a job like the rest of us. And I'm going to end off the video by talking about some of my favorite concept cars. So the first concept car is a bit of a runner-up because I don't believe that this vision fully made it to a running, driving concept. But the original plans for the Pontiac Aztek were to make it much smaller, possibly having 2-door and 4-door models, and make it a small hatchback. I think around the size of maybe like a Subaru or something. And I think that that idea had potential. Make it a shorter roof, make it more sleek, more streamlined. And if they had had a good engine combination, it would have been a really good car. Unfortunately, as with most things that happen in the car world, those concepts were scrapped because at the end of the day, GM likes to make money and they like to do badge engineering because that saves money. They had a Buick, a crossover small SUV type thing, and they're like, yeah, no, you're not making your own thing. You're making a Pontiac version of that. And that is how we ended up with the Pontiac Aztek as it went into production. But I think if they had kept with that original concept in those sketches, and I'll put them up now. Now these sketches, I got them from the Autopian, so I can't personally authenticate them. So for all I know, these could be somebody just drew these up and said, oh, here's some never before released sketches. But let's just hope the Autopian does have some journalistic integrity. The next one that I want to talk about for concept cars that were really cool and should have been made, my favorite concept cars, the Dodge Copperhead. The Dodge Copperhead was meant to be the little brother to the Dodge Viper. So it was going to have a turbo 6-cylinder engine, and it was a small 2-seat sports car. It was supposed to have good weight distribution, good power to weight ratio, and handle really well. And it was going to be the American Miata killer. But it never got into production, as far as I am aware. If you know of any that made it out into the streets, let me know. But I think it's a really cool concept, and it really could have worked, especially coming from Dodge. And the thing is, they could have revived this when they were revamping the Viper and the Charger and everything in the late 2000s, mid 2010s. The next concept car I wanted to mention is actually two cars. And I just found out about this the other day. It is, the idea is, you know, you have a nice full-size van, but then the front half of it can detach, and that is a small economy car. Now, of course, they had no plans of putting that into production. It was more or less to show off the technology and what the future might hold. And that's the thing with a lot of these concept cars. They'll make these concept cars, they'll test out different design features, and they're really a publicity stunt for the car companies. If they make it into production, often there have to be sacrifices, and the car that we get on the street is nothing like the concept car. A concept car this time from Ford. Ford in the 60s had a concept car that was supposed to run on nuclear power. Now, the model, it was just a static display. It didn't actually have a nuclear reactor. But the idea behind it was you could power your cars off nuclear energy, and then you could drive around for basically 10 years on a single fuel rod and not have to worry about gas mileage or anything. That would be a neat thing to think about. I don't know. But it was an interesting looking concept car. Another interesting looking concept car is the first mid-engine Chevy Corvette. And no, it's not the C8. So Chevy had plans to make the Corvette mid-engine, and there were some concept cars that were made and tested way back in the C3, C2, C3 generation. Now, speaking of the C8 Corvette, I am curious what y'all think of the C8 Corvette. I personally really like it. I think they did a good job of keeping the Corvette design and then updating it to a mid-engine platform. I think they did a really good job with that. It's not my favorite Corvette ever made, but I think it's pretty good. It carries on that Corvette legacy, but I know some people disagree with me. Bringing it back to concept cars that then went into production, think of the Plymouth Prowler, the Chevy SSR, the BMW i8. All of these went into production to varying degrees of success. However, for all of those, there's even more prototypes and more concept cars that are never put into production, and most of the time they don't even plan on putting it into production. And of course, you know, what sells papers doesn't always sell cars, which is why you see a lot of these concept vehicles, even when they're put into production, like the Chevy SSR or the Plymouth Prowler, they don't sell very well. If you'd like another video, maybe going more in depth into some of these concept cars and picking out my favorites and explaining a little bit more about each of them, let me know. That's something that I'd love to make. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe. See you in the next video.